Do you feel ignored or undervalued when you're in a stream?
Ooh, child. Listen, I done had enough. Just keep getting these lemons sour all the time. I pucker my lips, yeah, I might get stepping on pills now. I don't slip, just keep getting these lemons. It should be a crime. What you gonna find is I don't quit. I'ma show out now. I'm the life is giving lemons every second and hour. I think I used to be sweeter, but now I'm feeling too sour. I used to feel on top and now I'm losing my power. Now I just do it, get a check and get a meal and devour. I ran out of juice to make the lemonade. Lawyers like a players, maybe I'm afraid. But only I don't have to operate. Feeling really bad when I hit the keep getting these lemons sour all the time. I pucker my lips, yeah, I might get stepping on pills now. I don't slip, just keep getting these lemons. It should be a crime. What you gonna find is I don't quit. I'ma show out now. I'm the I don't want 'em no more. No, I don't want 'em no lemons. No lemons, no. I don't want 'em no more. No, I don't want 'em no lemons. No getting these lemons sour all the time. I pucker my lips, yeah, I might get stepping on pills now. I don't slip, just keep getting these lemons. It should be a crime. What you gonna find is I don't quit. I'ma show out now. I'm the keep getting these lemons sour all the time. Pucker my lips, yeah, I might get stepping on pills, yeah. I don't slip, lemons, crime.
It's getting a bit wet, but that's all right, because that means the tide's coming in, which we're going to get fish. What a beauty! Told you there was snapper out there, look at that one! Ha-ha! Okay, the mistake that people make with their loop knots is they'll pull it back towards the loop. Don't do that. I mean, that's a very compact sort of design. I'm pretty sure that's where the worm drive is, but we'll just double check. It's our old friend, the wobbegong shark. Seriously, another stream where we catch everything starting with W. Easy fella. Alright. So that's how much braid we've cast off that reel. Welcome everyone, Coyote Breeze, Fearless Melons, Smirks and Derek. How is everyone? We're just going to do a little bit of lure making today. Nothing too exciting. Alright, let's get the music happening again. Okay, that comes down to here. And boom, welcome everyone, how you doing? Alright, so... Oh, how's life treating you? How's the fishing over there, Coyote Breeze? You guys are in your season now. I feel sorry for you in the States and that, having such a short fishing season, you know. Alright, so what I've got is, I've actually got a commercial order that I need to finish. So what I've done is, from the States, I've got a whole heap of lure bodies that have come in. Okay, and also, as well as the lure bodies, obviously, we have all the, no, they're the threes, that's the fours. We've got a heap of, lure components that have come in. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing showing people how to make spinners for themselves. Most of the stuff that you buy nowadays is hello mate, how are you, bud? Ah, thanks Fearless Melons. We're actually slowly, oh, excuse me for a second. It helps if I have both lights on. It's not you, you'll figure it out one day, mate. You've only been streaming for 4 years, you know? Alright, let's bring that down here. Why? I hope you get your IRL issues sorted, mate, because I've just been through some recently myself, so, you know, unfortunately you've just got to work through them, if you know what I mean. And, yeah, I've had some family issues that I've had to work through recently, and it's not easy, mate. It never ever gets easier, you know? So you just gotta, I mean, it's the same old story. At the end of the day, the only person that can help themselves is you know. So, Alan Ace, welcome. Oh, I've got a heap of other intro stuff coming as well, Fearless. So, you know, we are going to start turning up the quality a bit, and got a heap of really good content planned on both platforms, mainly the other one. Now, people, if you're new to the stream and you're not familiar, former partnered streamer that left the platform and came back at the request of the community. So I'd really appreciate it if you went across to the YouTube channel and subscribe for free over there. And we also have a new YouTube Shorts at the moment to deal with today's stream. So could you just go and check that out for us, as every single view helps, you know. Oh, that's good. So, oh, well, that's good, Coyote, and I hope that your family are able to work through it, mate. Okay, because, yeah, that's, you can't do some things on your own, mate. Gavin, how are you, bud? What's going on, Big Gav? Good to see you, mate. Hey? Alright, so, what I've got here, fam, is no fishing today. The weather's terrible where I am, so this is the time of year where I go through and do a lot of maintenance on rods, reels, all sorts of stuff. Okay, and further to that, I get prepared for the new season. Now, we are going to be doing yes, so what we have here though is, when you're making your freshwater spinners and that sort of stuff, they're called inline spinners because they all work around a single strand of stainless steel wire. Okay, now let me show you the difference between the ones that you make and the ones that you buy. Now you got to remember, when spinners are made to a price, okay, now for example, check that out. Right, see that? I'll take that out of the packet and I'll show you the difference. So, right, now see that there? See how thin the wire is that spinner's made on there? Look at that. Will that work or not? Why is it not working? It's still like that. Let's try that, shall we? Try that. There we go. See the difference there? See how thin that is? Now, this will still catch fish, but when it comes to the ones that you make, see the difference in the gauge of the wire? The wire that I'm using is actually probably 3 times as thick. Now, that's not saying that this won't work, but when it comes to using stuff yourself, this is a good spinner to use in snaggy territory, and that way what you can do is cast it around. It won't cost you that much, so if you lose it, you lose it, and it's not a big deal. But the issue turns up when you work to the upper end of your fish and you get something that's like the fish of a lifetime, and then you've always got in the back of your mind whether, you know, it'll actually hold in that sort of situation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how we used to do things in the old days. Now, I've got a commercial order here, right? Oops. Now I've got a commercial order here, right, that I need to fill. So what we have here is we have the components, and we have the, actually what I'll do is I'll zoom that in a bit. Right, so what we have here is we have the components to make our own like spinners. I'll bring this in a bit closer, and I'll bring that a bit closer to here. Okay, so this is how we would make them in the old days, but in the old days you'd use pliers and you'd end up cutting your fingers. So that's the main shaft there. So what you do, it's quite a simple process, but it ends up becoming a bit of a lengthy process. So these are prefabricated, right? And what that is, that's a loop that's already on the end of the wire, okay? And that's got about a 200-pound breaking strain, so there's no fish in freshwater that you're going to catch here in Australia, unless it's a big Murray cod that might give that a bit of grief. And then what we do is we need to be able to make this so that the blade that we're going to put on there, right, that's the one that was damaged, that can go back in there. Okay, so how's life treating you, Gav? You doing much fishing over there? Alright, so what we do now is we just put a little brass bead on there. Now, there's the clevis which holds your blade. Now, these components are all from America, because if you want to buy quality gear, you just go to the States. It's quite simple. So what I've done there now is I have the basics of the spinner, right? I have the blade, okay? I have the clevis, I have the bead between the body. That's going to spin around there anyway, right? And now what I've got to do is, I'll show you how to do this. Right, this is a special little wire bending machine. So what I do is I put a loop in there, right? Bring that back through here. Clamp that in there, 1, 2, 3, right, and then suddenly what I have is a partially finished lure, okay, and because of the high tensile strength of this wire, it's good longitudinally, but as soon as you bend across it, it'll snap. Hey Bomb Dog, how are you, bud? So that's basically, Aussie Welsh, how are you, mate? Good to see you. So that's basically the spinner. Now, all that's left to do from there, okay, is that's size 4, size 2. This is a Dubro Pro Series Easy Twist Pro. Okay, I bought this years ago from the States. Seriously, there's no manufacturing in Australia that makes lure components or anything to do this sort of stuff. Oh, thanks, Welsh. Thanks for your support on Twitter and continued support too, Aussie Welsh. Right, so I'm just going to get the trebles out of the packet. So I've got an order for 300 of these. Hey Grant, how are you, bud? How's life treating you? You good? Alright, so then what we do to finish this is we just grab ourselves a split ring like that. Right, bring that in here. Okay. Put that on the correct end of the lure like so. Right. And voila. Whoops. There we go. Okay, so basically that's the finished product, but to sell this there's still a bit of a way to go, because what we've got to do is I've got to be able to put that in a packet. So oh well, that's right, Aussie Welsh, that's why we do it. So what happens is now is that'll go into a little Ziploc bag to all the 420 community that's in here. You use this for different things. That wasn't a very good one, was it? Let's do that again. Thanks, Fearless. But the thing is, mate, you the first 100 was the learning curve. Live potty mullet. Is that right, Danky? Okay, mate. You just got to be persistent and patient, bud. Hey, this is no good. Look at this. Well, thank you very, very much for that, Signet Australia. Won't be buying those again. Why have they got splits in them? It's only a couple, I think. Yeah, I think so, LMAce. I think someone tried to... I don't know what they tried to do with that bag. Alright, that's the first two I've ever had that have done that. So, alright, and then what we do is we put them in there. Now, I've already put them in the bag. I've got a label to go in there as well so that it can actually be sold. So what we'll do is we'll just go through. We've got 9 bodies left to make here. Right, we've got 9 of the bodies left to make here. Okay, so we'll just start. So, it's a fairly simple process. So you do the lead body, then you grab a brass bead. Now these are not tournament grade spinners, okay? I can make spinners, which I will do later on when the components turn up, whereby I can make this with brass and glass clickers, right? And what that will do is that will send out a subsonic frequency at the exact same frequency of a crayfish or crawfish, as they're called in the States. And as it swims along, it'll just send out an audible click, 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 click. The fish will pick it up and it'll draw it to your lure. Okay, so once again, what sort of area are you fishing for in Bras? Are you fishing rock walls? Are you fishing reef? Are you fishing the beach? Whereabouts, bud? You fishing off a jetty? Okay, so your local marina. Okay, mate. What time are you fishing for him, bud? So then we bring that in here. Half the issue is gauging the distance between the wire and the loop, So, hey there, brass wind chimes. Yeah, basically. Yeah, but what time do you go fishing, pal? Late Arvo. Okay, mate. Well, for starters, right, you've got to fish the peak of high tide for Mulloway, bud. Thanks, Dan. How are you, mate? And don't forget to use exclamation mark Beanie Fam. Hey, Chuck Creations. How are you, bud? Has he moved out yet, Chuck? Hey, has he moved out yet, Chuck? Is there light at the end of the tunnel? Right. There we go. So that'll just spin around the blade like that. Shark, it's a burden to bear, isn't it? Alright, so what we're going to do is we're just going to start, once you get your timing right. Yeah, turn of the high tide, Danky, and the sweet spot for Mulloway's 2 in the morning. Right, so one thing I've learnt over the years, the sweet spot for Mulloway's 2 in the morning, mate. Doesn't matter when the high tide is, 2 in the morning to 4 in the morning is your time for the big ones. Glass Mafia, how are you, bud? Wait, don't do that. And of course it does that. Come on, mate. Leo Barry. Now, what a mark that was, eh? Whew. I can still remember the commentator going over off his head. Nice to see a Swan supporter in here. How are you, mate? What's going on? How's life treating you? You keeping well? So, which state are you in, Danky? Oh, really? Yeah. Now, Chuck, it's a bit like Lotto, isn't it, Chuck? You know what I mean? New South Wales. Mate, the east coast of Australia is one of the better places for your mulloway. Here in WA, we don't seem to get the same amount of mulloway that you do, guys and girls do over there, mate. So... Alright, so we just put that through there. This time I'll try not to stuff up the loop. Now this is 40,000th of an inch stainless steel wire. This is about as low as I'll go for spinners. You can get the 32,000 and all that sort of stuff, but like I said, 40,000 is about... Well, Fish Stockton Beach, Danker. Hey! Gripper, how are you, bud? So there, bring that through here. Oh. There are variations of this. There are variations of this. That's not good. There are variations of this little machine out there, but this is the easiest one to use. Gripper, how's life treating you, bud? What's going on in your neck of the woods? Yeah, I haven't really been able to chase the mulloway properly for a long time, Danky. I've got a trip planned in a few weeks to a spot that has some of the biggest mulloway they've caught in the world. So I'm going to see how I go there. Yeah, I mean, some people even use lures as promotional things, Chuck, you know, but I don't do that, mate. I just use them to catch fish, you know. I'm not that fancy, Chuck. Look at me. You can tell by my appearance I'm not that fancy. Right. And unfortunately with these wires and that sort of stuff, there's always a bit of waste, you know what I mean? But that's just part of it. And Danky, if you can't get live bait, just use mullet, mate. Right. So... And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some of these here, and then we're going to go and use them in real life to try and catch fish to show everyone that they work. Alright Chuck, you have a great day, bud. Thanks for coming in, mate. Right, so now what we have is we have the we have our 10 bodies, or there's 9 left after we did them before. Right. No, this is for trout and perch over here, wind chimes. We don't have the salmonoids that you have in Europe and that sort of stuff, mate, and in the States, you know. So now what we do is we grab one of these, bring this on here like so. Chuck that in there. Oi. No, that's right, mate. Why would I hate you for that? That's work, bud. Mate. Yeah, don't stress about that, mate. Why would I hate you for that? That's your work. You know what I mean? So. Whew. Was that long lining, or was that like fishing off the beach? Yeah, trawling's terrible, mate. You know, the only time I get a bit annoyed with it is when you've got people just deliberately targeting sharks just for views on social media. Okay, that's just, yeah. Tuna long lining, okay. Yeah, I mean, that's how you get them. So. Right. So what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be working in through the various like colours and that sort of stuff, you know. And then just take it. Hang on a minute, I've got. Oh, that's because I dropped one last night. But one of the really quite funny things was on the old platform, right? The amount of people that asked me to go and try and catch a great white shark, and I just all you can do is shake your head, you know. For starters, they're protected, right? And I mean, what are you possibly going to achieve by that? You can't either eat them or anything like that. So plenty of other things I can be doing. Yeah, that's right. Years ago in Australia, Gripper, there was a guy that got jailed for using a live baby fur seal to catch a great white shark off South Australia. He went away for a while for that one. I hear you. I hear you, mate. Let's get a heap of these bearings. Well, because they're what do you mean why they're protected? Go to the University of Google Cricket and figure it out, mate. Correction, there we go. Smirks is onto it. Alright, so now what we do is, yeah, it's always the way bars though, isn't it, you know? So what we've got is, we've got 300 of these that we've got to make in a variety of different colours. Like I said to you, these are just your workhorse spinners. Okay, so with these workhorse spinners, okay, what these will do, you'll use them to basically fish your areas. In this size, you want to cover a lot of ground. They sink really quickly, and you don't have to retrieve them that quickly for these deep cut Colorado blades to work. Okay, okay, and what I'm going to do is, these are just your like traditional spinners with the clevises on them and that sort of stuff. What we'll be doing is, one day I'll be showing you a heap of different spinners to make, and then that way show you how to do a few different styles for different fishing applications. Like for example, this one here is on a clevis, so the blade spins around the spring. This one here is what's called an inline spinner. See how there's no clevis? So basically when you cast this, it forms a fairly streamlined shape, and then as soon as it hits and the water flows over it, then the water makes the blade spin. But in saying that, what this will do too is, if you're fishing shallow snaggy areas, right, this is a better spinner to use than this one, and that's not just because of the difference in the size, but the difference in the profile as well. So we'll just chuck these over here. Right, now what's the next colour that we're going to make? Let's have a look. What do we got left? Okay, so let's get some, what do we got here? Oh, we'll make some reds. On the east coast they do danky. We don't have any bass in Western Australia. In fact, I'm in probably one of the worst areas in the world for fishing for freshwater danky. We have no naturally occurring freshwater fish species that are on here. Right, 1/4 ounce, great. So we got 1, 2, 3. I've got another 2 there. Now with these spinners and that sort of stuff, you can do variations as well. Red's the most popular colour down here. Okay, so you know, yeah, if you want to like fish for most species, red's just one of the most popular colours all over the world, you know. So what we're going to do is, we're going to do 30 of these spinner bodies in a row here, okay, and then that way what we'll do is we'll just get these sorted. So I've got some glow in the dark blades as well, right? So with the glow in the dark blades, what they'll do is, when you're fishing deeper water, So that's what it'll practically look like underwater. See the difference there? See how it glows? Right, so the slightest bit of sunlight, okay, and that's going to pick it up and reflect in the water, much like a fish moving along. See? That's what that'll look like under there. Okay. Right, so let's bring that here. You've got to fish spinners really deep, bras. Cast them out, let them sink to the bottom, and then start retrieving them. Okay, so we'll just need to get a few more wires. Yeah, one of the biggest things you can learn with fishing in terms of life lessons is patience, you know. No, surely we should have some more than that. All right. Yeah, let's just stick with the program, cricket, okay? I'll show everyone the fishing tackle when we do the live stream with the spinners. Right. It's the only way to tell actually if there are okay, so it's the same old repetitive process, fam. Okay, and we've just got to do this the 300 times or whatever to get the job done. I've got all the labels turning up next week, but this is actually a commercial order, so this is a shop that stocks our products. Our online store is firing back up soon, fam. So once that happens, you'll have access to a lot of different products at really good prices. We can end up having about 2,500 products. Now and then, bras, I'm doing a combined stream at the moment. I've had a few members of the community that asked me to do last night's stream this morning, so we're doing a combined stream at the moment on both platforms, but we are predominantly on YouTube now. So. Okay. Once you figure out the easiest way to do it. There we go. Oh. Looks like the rubbish truck's due, I think. So aside from that, anything interesting been happening on either platforms? Any new trends that anybody wants to talk about? A few things happening on YouTube that are sort of, you know, not agreeing with a few people. What about on Twitch? There we go. We'll be back doing fishing streams shortly. Just got to wait for this weather to break. So. Okay, let's get that in there. So we'll probably be in here for about, I don't know, a little while anyway. Yeah, there's not too much like glamour associated with this, famo. You just got to get in here and grind it out, you know? A bit like streaming, really. But if you're going to do things, you've got to do them properly, you know? Everybody just excuse me for a second. I'll be right back. Because that means the tide's coming in, which we're going to get fish. What a beauty! Yeah, I am, Brass. This is an order. There, look at that one! Ah! Okay. The mistake that people make with their loop knots is they'll pull it back towards the loop. Don't do that. I mean, that's a very compact sort of design. I'm pretty sure that's where the worm drive is, but we'll just double check. It's our old friend, the wobbegong shark. Seriously, another stream where we catch everything starting with W. Easy, fella. All right. So that's how much braid we've cast off that reel. It's getting a bit wet, but that's all right, because that means the tide's coming in, which we're going to get fish. What a beauty! Told you there was a snapper out there, look at that one! Ha-ha! Okay, the mistake that people make with their loop knots is they'll pull it back towards the loop. Don't do that. I mean, that's a very compact sort of design. I'm pretty sure that's where the worm drive is, but we'll just double check. It's our old friend, the wobbegong shark. Seriously, another stream where we catch everything starting with W. Easy, fella. All right. So that's how much braid we've cast off that reel. It's getting a bit wet, but that's all right, because that means the tide's coming in, which we're going to get fish. What a beauty! Told you there was snapper out there. Look at that one! Ha-ha! Okay. The mistake that people make with their loop knots is they'll pull it back towards the loop. Don't do that. That's exactly what we're doing, actually. These are actually an order for a local tackle store. So, let's get that going. Oh, that's better. Right, so, that's that sorted. But with this Dubro Easy Twist Pro, you can do all sorts of stuff. I'll show you. One thing you can do too, that you can actually make really good leaders with this as well, in all poundages from 100 to 500 pound. So if you ever want to make like a proper saltwater leader for say mackerel and all that sort of stuff, you can do it. There we go. So see that? That's an absolutely perfect sort of 8-inch saltwater leader that we just made up. So that's the one that we just did there. And then what you do is you just use a split ring, or you can put your hook in there and away you go, see? So that's something you can do with these that you can't really do with a lot of the other ones. Okay. So what we'll do now is I'm trying to do 50 of these spinners every session that we do them. Then that way, once I get this lot done and then I get another lot done, then we'll have our half the order done virtually. And then it just makes it a bit easier to sort of get the rest of it prepped. But once the cards come, we're just going to put these straight into the packets, leave the packets unopened. Once the cards come, I'll probably get a stamp, I think a stamp is a better option rather than handwriting everything, but handwriting gives it that more personal sort of approach, and that it's a custom made lure rather than mass production, but they have their place as well. So this is a 1/4 ounce lure, so that weighs, what is it, I'd say 8 grams. And then we've got a 3/8 ounce lure body as well. Just same old story. When you go fishing with your lures, you've got to use different colours and different weights for the different water conditions. So if you've got really fast flowing water, you'd probably use a slightly heavier lure. And if you've got really slow moving water that you need to get the, you know, lure down not as quickly, and you want to move it quite slowly through the water, then when you use a lighter weighted lure, if you know what I mean. Right, so we just work through this. Whoops. These cups here are known as a deep cup Colorado spoon, obviously invented in Colorado in America. So the good thing about these is, because they've got such a big sort of indent in the actual spinner blade, they can actually move a lot of water, and you can actually get them to spin around the blade at a very slow retrieval rate. Because unfortunately with some spinners, especially the ones that are from overseas, you've got to retrieve them quite quickly. Whoops! Got to retrieve them quite quickly just to get them to move, you know, which can sort of present issues within itself, if you know what I mean. Let me just put these around here to stop all the components sort of disappearing at a rapid rate, and then we're good. Right. So what we're doing here is we've got a little brass bead there. The clevis slides down here. Sometimes if the clevis brushes up against the lead painted body, it stops it from spinning. So the brass bead acts as an attractant and also as a spacer. Hey Pippany, how are you, mate? What's going on, Pip? How's life treating you? I'd give you a shout out, mate, but unfortunately, I think, you know, because I'm not partnered anymore, my shout out's not working. What's going on? How long until you start fishing, Pip? You know, you talked it up a while ago. I haven't seen any fishing streams, mate. What's going on? How'd the big shift go? Actually, I wonder if I can do the shout out. Let me have a look. Oh. What's going on, mate? Didn't mean to upset you. How come you haven't been doing the fishing? Oh, you're kidding. That's not good. I thought you were moving in with your mate. Oh. Oh, well, I'm not laughing at you, mate. I'm laughing with you, Pip. All right, big difference, okay? So what are you streaming mainly? Just your... What is it, Call of Duty? Is that what you stream? Excuse me for a second, people. I think I've just got a delivery. Hang on. What a beauty! Told you there was snapper out there. Look at that one! Ha-ha! Okay. The mistake that people make with their loop knots is they'll pull it back towards the loop. Don't do that. I mean, that's a very compact sort of design. I'm pretty sure that's where the worm drive is, but we'll just double check. It's our old friend, the Wobby's on the car. Seriously, another stream. Just the local ferals making noise again. There we go. Hey, Mr. Piggies, how are you, bud? Oh, nice one. Mr. Piggies, how's life treating you, matey? And look, thanks, people. Thanks to everyone that's watching on YouTube and Twitch. Okay. Mr. Piggy, what are you up to today, mate? Yeah, what we're doing here, Pip, is I'm making lures for a shop. Okay, I've got a big order of about 300 spinners. These probably won't last. Okay. Cool. Right. Let's get these done. Yeah. Same old story. It's the amount of time that you spend at the vise, or in this case, wire bender, that determines how quickly you get everything done. So, you know, it's like everything in business. You put out the initial outlay, then you've got to do the job, and then once you do the job, right, then you invoice and are rewarded accordingly, you know. So but we've got a really good following with these lures. The most I sold of these in 1 year was about 3,000. So we'll get back up to that, you know. And as much as there's always going to be a market for the mass-produced offshore stuff, there still is a demand for the locally produced stuff, you know. So, and the stuff that you buy from overseas will never be as strong and put together as well as this, but that's how it goes, you know. They still get snagged the same, but you know, if you were fishing and you wanted to have confidence in landing a really big fish, you'd have more confidence using these products than others, you know. Oh, what am I doing there? Pity I couldn't invent something that I could use to do this finicky part a bit easier, you know. Tell you what, it takes the hands a long time to get conditioned to this. I mean, that's from bending all the wire, you know. By the end of it, you usually end up with calluses, so Dun, 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 dun. Right. There we go. We've done 26. We've got 4 to go. Where are the other bodies? Let's have a look. There's the other lure bodies there. Oh, we got an. Oh, there it is. Thought we got given an extra blade. No, we're not that lucky. Well, that's interesting. The body fell off that one. Great. Let's do that again, shall we? You try and think that it ends up becoming more of a mechanised process, Famo, but you know, that's what happens as soon as I start to rush. I'll do something silly that sets me back. There we go. Yeah, pretty good, Mr. Piggies. I'm just carrying over from last night. You know, I'm just going to come in here, do another 50 spinners, get them out the way. Then I'll probably come back tonight and do another 50 spinners, you know what I mean? And just but we've got a heap of fly fishing content coming up, Famo. Just waiting for stuff to turn up from overseas. Once it turns up from overseas, then we'll start taking it out on the water. So what we'll be doing is, with the products that we're going to be selling on our online store, we're not going to be selling them unless we use them first. Right, so that's how I've always been. I don't just buy stuff for the sake of it, you know. So, oh no, yeah, hey there, Risky, how are you, mate? No, these are in order, bud. These are in order. So, I'm obviously going to make some for myself as well, but they'll be the tournament grade ones that come in. So let's get these done. Yeah, you've got different types of spinners that you can make, doing different things, people. So but you can buy cheaper versions of these easy twists that don't break the bank, but I needed this for a commercial application, so I bought one that makes it a lot easier to make all your spinners and that, because the other one you tend to use with pliers and that sort of thing, and it makes it quite difficult, you know. Alright, so we've just done 30 of these red-bodied spinners, which means we're making pretty good progress. The labels won't be here for another week, I think, so as long as we get these done, so that when the labels turn up I can just put them straight in the bags. Ta-da! Now, flat battery. Bugger, usually what I do is you weigh them to get the weight of the spinner, but I'll have to get the battery for that. So what we've got now, we've got our 30 completed bodies here, okay, with the blades. Now what we need to do is we need to put these into bags with hooks attached to them. Mr. Piggies, I've got orders for over 300. So I've got 2 different sizes that have been ordered, right? And yes, they are. This is only part of it. So with the 50 from last night and the 50 I'm doing today, right? There's about 300 that need to get done. It might even be more than 300, but either way, I've still got to work through them, you know. So the best way to do that is just to, you know, get into it. Oh. Alright, we got there's size 4s, I need size 2. Yep, they're 2s. So what we're going to do is this. I'm just going to empty out all the trebles right on here, like so. Personally, I don't like using trebles, but people don't like buying them unless they're made with trebles, so obviously I'm going to use trebles, aren't I? Right. To be quite honest with you, Mr. Piggies, I don't remember. That's how long ago I've had them. And that's a good thing when you invest in stock. It's always going to be there, isn't it, you know? So, let's get that in there. Like so. It's not happening, is it? Come on. But it's all relative when you do the quote and that sort of stuff. You've got to factor in a quotient for your stock, and then you never make an hourly wage doing this sort of thing. You just try and just get as many done as you can, you know. So that's it. So basically what we have there, that's the red-bodied fluoro red blade. That's a very popular colour. I've actually had these spinners. There's another colour range that I do, and the clicker ones, I've actually had them banned at a couple of places where they were sold because they were, yeah, catching quite a few fish. So they just said, no, can't use them. More tongue-in-cheek, really, but, you know, good advertising ploy, isn't it? You know? So we've made 40 spinners in a bit over an hour. That's pretty good. Excuse me for a second. Excuse me for a second, fam. Well, my doctor has caught COVID, fam. So there'll be no doctor's appointment today, eh? Thanks for that. It's getting everyone. When the government bans them, yeah, that's right, isn't it? Rightio. The other good thing is too, you can sort of check them as you go, you know. That's good, that's not bending. Okay, so I can put the treble in there. Hey Ben, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream, mate. Yeah, just taking a little bit of time out, mate. We do most of our streaming on YouTube now, but I haven't been around that much because of a few family matters recently. So now that we've got them out of the way, away we go. And how's life treating you, mate? You good? Oh, Coffs Harbour, how'd you go up there? Did you get any tuna off the rocks there or what? Oh, nice one, mate. Good on you. I wish this rain would go away so I could go out for a walk at some stage. I haven't been walking for a couple of weeks. Okay. So... what else has been happening, Ben? You been doing much, or? Okay. So what we're doing now is we're just adding the trebles to the actual, I don't know, blanks. Is that a good word to use for it? The first bit of respite we're going to get in this weather, people, what we're going to do is we're going to do patrols along the beach for turtles and that sort of stuff, and then that way factor in fitness as well with doing something for the environment, if you know where I'm coming from. So where we are, they usually get turtles washed up on the beach, so the only way that you save them is to get in there early, you know. So okay, there we go. Oh really, Ben? Fraser Island, eh? I think Shook's out there next week, so, or this week, don't know. Welcome back, Mr. Piggies. How are you, bud? Okay, so... that's a better hook. Much better hook. NSG, how are you, mate? Benson, thanks for the follow on Twitter, mate. Good on you. How are you, bud? NSG, how are you, mate? What's going on? Is this a different username, bud, or? You've been following since March the 12th, 2020, mate. So, 2 years and a bit. How are you, mate? You well? Ah. So, see? Even if you think you know what you're doing, you can make a mistake. Oh, yeah, mate, we left last year, Benny. Yeah, I just disgruntled with the whole platform. But came back after I had messages from previous community members that said, what are you doing? And I went, okay. No, not too short. What happened was I didn't get the top part of the clevis onto the wire. Right, so of course when there's only one part of the clevis that's connected there, see, oh hang on, is that cut, is it? No, that's what happened. Right, yeah, the front one wasn't on there, so that's called quality control. It's not a mistake, it's quality control. Hey Benny, how's your streaming going, mate? Because you stream from memory, don't you? And don't forget to enter the beanie, fam. Okay. Good on you, mate. I admire that. That's an interesting thought process, though, isn't it, nowadays? So many people overemphasise the importance of streaming. And in a lot of ways, streamers as well. You know what I mean? We've always just treated it, we do what we do, we turn the camera on. But, you know, some other people just really take it to another level. It's disgusting. The one thing that makes me laugh, Ben, living the dream. How are you, mate? Welcome to the stream, bud. Is just recently there's a lot of entitlement out there. I don't get that. You know, no one's asking people to go and start live streaming. So, you know, when they, I'm not going to get into it, but just some of the things I've heard and seen, you just, yeah, whatever, you know. Yeah, that's exactly right, Mr. Piggies. And I don't think they realise, right, that, you know, as a rule of thumb, people aren't stupid. I just get very frustrated when they suck in these people that are, you know, unaware of what the real motives are. And, you know, like I just, yeah. I mean, IRL is the most expensive form of streaming, but no one asks people to do it. You know, if your content's not cutting it, I just crossed cutting it and content there, right? I can't tell I'm Australian. Yeah, if your content isn't cutting it, right? I mean, go and get a job. Don't dump your community on a trip. You know what I mean? I just can't get it. Alright, so, ta-da! Here we have another 30 with these beautiful heavy-duty treble hooks. That's a lovely spinner. Cannot wait till I start flicking that early season at some perch. Yeah, is that the one that's cut? Let's have a look. So what we'll do now is that's exactly right, Mr. Piggies. So what we do now is, right, and the good thing about this is we can check every spinner as it goes in the bag, right. So I've got a few extras here, which is interesting. That's right, living the dream. Oh, thanks, mate. Yeah. Just a bit of fun. I'm really quite over the whole gaming thing altogether. Although in saying that, Hunter Call of the Wild is bringing out a fishing game. That'll be interesting. See how that goes, you know. Let's get these done. Oh, really living the dream. Yeah, they're going to introduce a fishing segment now, which I, have to confess, I did get a bit excited about, to be quite honest with you. So once that ends up on the wish list, I'll be trying that out. Really, Smirks? Yeah, be good. I mean, I think it'd be quite good if they had a different fishing map. Like if you had Hunter Call of the Wild angling, imagine if they had a, a fishing map for Argentina, Europe, America, Australia, New Zealand. That'd be awesome. Yeah, nor did I. One of my friends, who's also one of my mods, sent me a message this morning on the Discord. Oh, people too. Look, if you're new to the channel, right, we normally do fishing streams, right, please join the Discord, okay, and then that way you can get up to date with notifications and interact with other members of the community, right. Oh, I would, Smirks, and the other thing is too, I always had an inkling they might, but I didn't know when, you know what I mean, like some of those hunting maps and that sort of stuff, you used to see the yellow perch, in the water. And I'd always say, why don't they introduce a fishing game? Oh, it is, Smirks. So, I personally think they should call it, Call of the Wild is good, but it'd be Call of the Outdoors, Especially with a fishing segment, it'd be good fun. I think that would get a lot of other sort of video game creators a bit worried too, because if the Hunter Call of the Wild gets hold of it, as a rule of thumb, it should be a good game, Oh, it is. Hopefully they have fly fishing in it though. Cool. Something like that, mate. Hopefully they have fly fishing in it though, because if they don't have fly fishing, sort of makes it a bit, futile, you know what I mean? Don't know, living the dream. Yeah, but Smirks, that's the headache, isn't it? But isn't that fishing, I mean, like one thing I watch about these bass tournaments and that, all they seem to do is as soon as the fish hooks, they just rip its head off, So... why that one's spared. You missed one. Oh, really? Okay. Interesting. Alright, so what we're doing now is just so we're just going to get these into the bags. I'm not even going to bother to close the bags because I've got all the labels coming for them. Right. And then what I can do is just write the labels out and then just put them straight into the bag. That's pretty good. We've done 40 of them in an hour and a half. One every couple of minutes is pretty good. Thanks, Benson. Good to see you here, mate. Thanks very much for the subscription on YouTube. And thanks very much for the follow on Twitter, mate. I'll return the favour once I whittle down my list, because apparently I can't add any more people on Twitter, which is a bit of a concern. Alright, there we go. Done. Alright, people. So, no, it's more than that, living the dream. This machine, when I bought it years ago, was when the Australian exchange rate was not good at all. So this actually cost me about $600. Adam Campbell, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream, mate. I'm wondering who was around on YouTube. How are you, Adam? What's going on? You well? There we go. Excellent. Oops, get rid of the microphone. Yeah, so what we've done now is we've got all 30 of these red-bladed lures and maroon-bodied lures. Sweet talk the wife. Good luck. Haven't you read the handbook yet? Living the dream, hey? Haven't you? Yeah, you too, Adam. Yeah, good, mate. We're just sitting around just doing the non-glamorous side of YouTube, you know? All the stuff that they don't see, mate, that's condensed down to make it look and sound good, you know what I mean? So, well, Mr. Piggies, this has probably made, I don't know, 3,500 spinners at an average of about $4.50 a spinner. So, yeah, by a long shot. And that's the thing, though, you know? You just, that's how you do it. So, I can't see this breaking on me, and that's why I spent the money. Because you can buy them where it'll grip and you use pliers and that sort of stuff, but, you know, that just sort of, yeah, makes it a bit more difficult. Alright, let's see what's going on. I might as well throw out a raid, because I think that will actually work. Who am I going to throw a raid out to? We'll figure that out in a second. Look, thanks very much for tuning in. All we're doing at the moment is just working through this commercial order, and then what I'll do is, it's actually quite good when you get all of it done and you've got all the spinners on the table, and you've just got a whole table covered in spinners, you know, you sort of... Firm anyway, mate. So basically you go back to your childhood, really. Firm, how are you, mate? Welcome to the stream. Alright, people, I'm going to throw a raid out on one platform and then finish up on another. Alright, so stay safe and stay well. Be the best person you can be every day. Good to see you, Adam. Thanks to the people on YouTube. Thanks to everyone that's come across on Twitch. And see you soon.